What's up guys, this is Matt, and today I'm just going to be reviewing the Crosstour action camera. It's the CT8500 model. So recently when I was surfing, the last vlog that I made, I actually lost my camera in the ocean. It wasn't mounted properly. I was trying to use a head mount. It didn't really work out. I lost it into the depths of the ocean, and so right now I'm kind of in a stage where I'm saving up for a real GoPro, but in the meantime I ordered one of these guys on Amazon. It had some decent reviews, so I'm going to check it out. We're going to open it up, show you guys what's in here, then you'll get to see some footage from it. Now these go for 50 bucks on Amazon is what I paid for mine. It's supposed to be pretty decent. The only thing I'm worried about is the anti-shaking capabilities. I think the GoPro really has that down, and some of these cheaper cameras don't have that. But let's dive in. So the camera does come in a pretty cool little box, and it's got these 4 little stickers on the side. It looks cool. It comes in a box just like the GoPro comes in, which is kind of encouraging. And it comes right there in the waterproof case. The sticker's off. Let's open it up. It just comes right off. And then right there is your camera. And looks like it's mounted on there in some sort of fashion. Oh, okay. So there's actually a mount on the box. There you go. Comes right off. So there it is. Now I've owned some of these sort of cheaper Amazon cameras before, and they've never really blown me away with the build quality. Right off the bat, this seems to be a little bit of a nicer build quality than some of the other ones that I've had. So here's everything that comes in the box. As I said, there's 2 batteries, which is nice, and then all the different mounting brackets, zip ties. This goes with the band, and you can fire it from your wrist. A external microphone, which is nice. A standard tripod mount that is not waterproof, and then of course your regular waterproof case. This is everything that's in here, and then I got a nice SanDisk SD card, 64 gig for this. So one thing that's difficult right off the bat is that it's really hard to open the battery casing here. So I don't know if you can see, but there's this little door that snaps in, but then there's a little lever you have to pull and pry open the door at the same time. And I could not do it with just my hands. Like literally my fingers won't fit in there. So kind of a bummer, but I ended up having to pull a key. There we go. Battery door is off. The battery goes in. It's a pretty high quality battery, I would say, for this type of deal. Let's turn this guy on real quick. There we go. Cool. There's your little screen. The battery did not come with a full charge. Okay, here we go. Video resolution. 4K at 30 frames per second. There's also 2.7K at 30 frames. 1080p at 60 frames, 1080p at 30 frames, 720p at 120 frames. That would be absolutely insane. I'm not sure why anyone would use that. Some other settings: you can make a looping video, slow motion, audio record, photo resolution, volume. You can choose whether you want the beeping sound on or not. And then there's exposure, white balance, ISO, effects, contrast, saturation, sharpness. Some of the other cheaper cameras I've used that are in this price range don't actually have all those features, so that's nice. Car mode, upside down, that's cool. Screensaver, you can format your SD card. So there you have it, there's the settings, and for today I'm just gonna be in the waterproof case. There it is right there in the waterproof case. Showed you everything that comes in the box and all the stuff that you can do on the camera, all the settings that are in there. Hopefully this thing looks amazing. So let's go ahead and get some footage on the water for you guys to see. Here we go. Say what? Yeah. It's I got a real one that's on the way. This is like a $50 one from Amazon as backup. So how long ago did you start surfing again? Okay. Cool. I like just got into it this year, so. Whew. Gonna switch to the mouth mount now. I get some waves from first person perspective. Pros and cons. I would say pros are it works well with any type of mounting system. So I've had one of those cheaper ones in the past from Amazon, and it was actually really hard to squeeze into standard GoPro mounting systems. Like, they made the plastic a little thicker. This one works fine. Everything seemed to just fit. So that's a plus. Another plus, it has Wi-Fi capabilities and it has an app that goes with it, which is cool. I found it a lot easier to use the settings on the app instead of trying to finagle the menus in the camera. The first bit of videos that you saw were sort of the default auto settings for most of everything, like auto ISO, auto white balance. The second set, when I was
surfing instead of paddleboarding, I learned from the paddleboarding set that the auto white balance makes everything really, really weird and like yellowish green. I ended up using the white balance setting called Fluorescent 2 that's in there, and that ended up giving me a much more natural setting. Now when I was surfing, I put the ISO on 200. I thought it was gonna be a lot sunnier. It was a little bit of a darker day. It was kind of shadowy and cloudy, so the ISO wasn't the perfect setting for that session. I should have bumped it up just a little bit, but I didn't like the auto ISO settings. It kind of didn't look great. I would say if you're gonna use this camera, stay away from the auto settings. Pick ones that work for the situation that you're gonna get into to get the best footage. 2K was great, 30 frames per second. I wish they could do 2K at 60 frames per second, so there's a limitation there. The anti-shaking feature, I did not use it for the paddleboard session, but I did use it for the surf session. I don't know that I noticed much of a difference, especially compared to like when you got the GoPro Hero 7 out now with all that anti-shake stuff, and it's just super smooth. This definitely does not do that. I mean, you saw when I was surfing, it was definitely still kind of shaking all over the place. But I have had one of those cheaper Amazon cameras in the past, and it didn't have any anti-shaking capabilities on it, and it was terrible. It was way worse. So I would say this is an improvement from no anti-shaking capabilities, but it's not gonna look like that just perfectly glassy smooth kind of anti-shake stuff that GoPro has really capitalized on. One really negative thing that's hurting this camera is the audio quality. When it's in the waterproof case, the audio quality is garbage. So I don't know if you saw or noticed, but when I was out there surfing, I was having conversations with these people, and you literally could not hear at all what they were saying, and you could hear a little bit of what I was saying, even though I was really close to the camera. Pretty much all you can hear is the water splashing the camera, and that's about it. So that made it really hard. You know, I do a vlog as well, and I like to get some of those like conversations I'm having out on the water with people speckled in there because they're interesting and they're fun. And I really wasn't able to do that trying to use this for my latest vlog because the audio quality was so terrible. It can be better in a waterproof case. The camera that I had before, there was another, $40 Amazon deal. The one that I had before, it did just fine with audio. It wasn't amazing, of course. It's in a waterproof case, but you could hear other people talking even, 10 or 20 feet away, and you could really hear me talking with it. So compared to some of those other cheaper cameras on the market, I say this one is really lacking in audio. And that may not be important to you, but it was for me. So take that in consideration when you buy it. By and large though, compared to the previous cheapy camera that I owned, the footage on this, the quality was significantly better than the one I had before. Now the one I had before I got maybe 2 years ago, so they weren't quite there yet. And I lost it in the ocean, so that's why I got this one. For me, I think the quality of the picture was a lot better. It's a little more capable with the resolution, and it had more settings. So overall, it's not bad. If you're just trying to do some pretty simple stuff, I would say for sure if you're not trying to do anything with a waterproof case, you'd probably be in good shape with this instead of trying to fork out the money for a new GoPro. However, for me, after taking it out surfing one time, I went ahead and bought a new GoPro. I found a good deal on a GoPro Hero 5, and so that's coming, and I think I'll be much more happy with that. I'll still keep this one as sort of a backup camera or like a second angle. I'll probably use like the GoPro as a board mount, and then put my Crosstour in my mouth mount, and maybe just have a different perspective sometimes. So pros, easy to mount, decent amount of settings to really customize and make it look good. Pretty good looking picture, not as good as a GoPro. Everything that came with it works great, like the case doesn't leak or anything like that. Also the app is great for settings, and you can actually see the footage on the app, so you can really dial in the settings while you're testing it. Cons, you really have to tweak the settings to get it to where you want, and the auto features are not good. The audio quality is terrible terrible, terrible. I really can't stress this enough. This is obviously not a sponsored video, but the audio quality is bad. And lastly, it is limited in some features. For example, white balance, it just sort of has like preset options. So it says daylight, cloudy, fluorescent 1, fluorescent 2, fluorescent 3, or auto, but there's no actual like dialing in specifically the white balance that you want. So fluorescent 2 is great. All the other ones seemed garbage, so there's not a lot of good quality white balance settings, it seemed like to me. There you have it. There's good things and bad things with this camera. For me, I needed one in a pinch, so I ordered it, and it helped me do my latest vlog before my real GoPro comes. It's not a bad buy if you're thinking about investing in something. It is significantly cheaper than any GoPro you'll find. So for 50 bucks, I recommend it unless you're trying to do really, really high intensity action stuff to where you really need the anti-shaking feature. It's a good buy, and you can make it look good. You just have to know sort of what you're doing with camera settings to figure that out. Crosstour CT8500. If anybody else has an experience with the camera, let me know what you think. If you can affirm or deny any of those things that I've said, or if you have any tips or tricks for that camera maybe that I missed out on that I'm not seeing, why don't you comment below and let me know what you think. Also, I do vlogs as well, and I do other product review videos for all the sorts of different products that I use. So if you like this video and if you're interested in seeing my surfing vlog, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and we will see you guys on the next video.